Welcome back, Saints Nation. We are here on Skyline Hardpoint for our first match of the night. It's going off early as CollegeCoD takes one onto University of Buffalo, and the Saints acquire their first point of the night. Up 10-0 early. The Saints looking to be aggressive, like we had talked about pregame, but Buffalo is going to look to do the same.
Buffalo getting in, disrupting a little bit, but we know how good the Saints are on Skyline Hardpoint specifically. This is their bread and butter map. They love playing this one. They scrim on it all the time, so I'm still expecting a big one though. CollegeCoD coming out swinging early already on a bloodthirsty, and the game has barely even started. Rupert finishing off Dan Spider as well, and finding another one as well. Looks like the Saints, just for this point, is going to switch. Looks like they're firing on all cylinders early. Yeah,
an early lead here, 41-2, as we swap over to the next hard point. The Saints already on that second hard point early on in this game as CollegeCoD takes out Xenium, and Rupert a second onto Dan Spider. The second point is being closed in by TBE Swarm. He is having a great start to the game here for University of Buffalo. KB takes him down though. Saints back onto the hard point, 58-2 early. KB and CollegeCoD filling up the scoreboard. CollegeCoD with a beautiful shot, another onto Clicks. Brandon stepping in for Seawads tonight. Can he make some noise? CollegeCoD is just on an absolute tear early on here, 11-3. A beautiful start. Clicks onto KB, finds another as the Saints are just climbing the ladder, 80-2 early on. CollegeCoD taken out after that 5 streak once again.
And what were we talking about before this game started? We were talking about how this was going to be a tough one for the Saints potentially, but if they could stay locked in, they were going to be just fine. And from what we've seen so far, it looks like they're doing just that. I mean, almost a 100-point lead right out of the rip, just under 5 minutes to go here, as that kill feed has been all green so far.
Yeah, University of Buffalo hasn't put up too much of a fight here early on, but they still have some time to turn it around. Dan Spider tries to get one onto Rupert, but Rupert able to frag him. TBE Swarm. Unfortunately, mistakes were made as the Saints just keep holding this hard point, and Buffalo looks to really not be aggressive as Brandon is on a beautiful position there, laying down on the floor. Dan Spider able to take one back onto Brandon. Rupert now onto Dan. Rupert back onto Swarm. KB now filling up the kill feed on his own. Clicks and Xenium with one onto KB. CollegeCoD onto Dan Spider as the Saints take a 130-2 lead here on this first map. The Saints are just being super aggressive and not allowing Buffalo to find any ground on this hard point.
No, definitely not. And a shout out to Brandon. Not only can he coach the Saints well, but he can also play very well for the Saints, as he has been filling in perfectly for the role of Seawads that we missed out earlier. Is now hardpoint switching as the Saints again get onto it early, and they know the lanes that Buffalo is going to use to attempt to get on the point. They are so good at pre-aiming those spots, and that is why their defense has been so good. Because they have such familiarity with the map, they can just run it like there's no problem at all.
Yeah, the Rupert has just been unreal right here as Brandon takes down Clicks. Buffalo finally getting a couple points onto the hard point, but not enough really to make a dent into this Saint lead. 20 seconds left on this hard point. KB stunned out, tries to find something with the pistol early on. KB finds one, Clicks onto Brandon. Rupert trays back onto Swarm. Swarm onto Rupert as well with the follow-up nade. KB and CollegeCoD coming in to save the day for the Saints. Swarm finds one. Buffalo cutting the lead ever so slightly. Swarm is going to have a say in this if Buffalo is going to have a chance. Brandon, a couple missed shots, but Xenium able to reposition and take out Brandon. KB and Rupert all over the feed. 159-40 about now for the Saints as Rupert is finding a 3 streak. Brandon onto Dan Spider. Beautiful stuff from the Saints here early. They're just in the right positions at the right time and taking out the right enemies.
If the Saints have one weakness on this map, it's that hard point in the mudroom or the bathroom. We've seen it before where that is the point where it seems like the other team gets a little bit more momentum. A lot of sight lines, not a ton of spots to hide, and those ones are really telegraphed, and usually you can figure out, oh, okay, there's somebody in this corner. So if anything, that's something the Saints do struggle a bit with, but again, like we've seen here, already a huge lead as you're going to be switching back up again to this roof hard point here. The Saints look pretty unstoppable right now. They just need to stay the course, and it should be an easy 1-0 start to the series.
Yeah, just about 50 points left the Saints need to take this first map on Skyline. Rupert and Brandon filling up the scoreboard. TBE Swarm, on the other hand, is the only one on Buffalo that really feels like, you know, they're giving an effort here, as KB finds one onto Dan Spider, CoD onto Swarm as well. The Saints taking control of the hard point once more, 205 to 38 with under 4 minutes left to go here. The Saints trying to make a quick work of University of Buffalo here early on hardpoint on Skyline.
I really like the call where we only have one member of the Saints using the AR. Gives the other players an opportunity to be a bit more aggressive in their takes and their positioning. We've seen what they've been doing all the slide canceling, the omni movement abilities, and they're holding these really, really tight angles on these corners. So when they come around the corner, they see a University of Buffalo player come around the corner, they're right in that perfect spot where they just absolutely rinse the other player. Really, really smart.
Saints filling up the scoreboard here, 236 to 40, wrapping this one up quite quickly. Buffalo needs some kind of miracle early here as they drop down from that hallway position near the pool, trying to flood onto the point, but St. Clair is having none of it. Brandon and Rupert able to find two, but Dan Spider able to follow up with two of his own, gonna try and make something out of this. The Saints 2 points away from victory here on map 1. CoD finds two, Brandon with a third. Can KB fill it up? He can. The scoreboard is full and the Saints are victorious. 250 to 40 early. Sorry, 250 to 50 here on Skyline Hardpoint, map number 1 taken by the Saints.
I think what was great about that one is that was the most resistance the Saints have seen, but did not matter. It was CoD, the best play, finding one, looking for another absolute laser beam for a weapon here. Let's look at this, gonna find another. Just had no idea he was there or what was coming here, but want to point out that as good as CoD was with the AR, we have 3 SMG players coming in and supporting on the other side here. We were seeing all this great movement tech and excellent use of spacing, and they were just so clean with those shots. Just like I said, even though they give up probably the most points you've ever given up in a hardpoint map, the streak continues. No maps have been lost on any of the modes they played so far. And again, the Saints look like they are just so dominant and so locked in.
Yeah, locked in for sure. They're really aggressive. 3 Saints there above 20 frags. You don't see that, you know, too often, but CoD and Rupert were just going crazy right there. Brandon did a phenomenal job of filling in, of course, for CWADs, and I thought overall their positioning was really good. They were able, like you said, they were able to find those lanes, those popular lanes that Buffalo likes to take into those, you know, hard points, and just shut down any kind of attack that Buffalo had.
No, absolutely, and I really liked on that roof point, while Buffalo was able to sort of infiltrate using the elevator. You know, sometimes they couldn't cover that elevator, but somebody on the Saints was able to just quickly, you know, zoom in and like get the refrag so quick. They are so good on comms, and like you said, the positioning, they know exactly where the rotation is going to next, and they have this planned so well. Skyline really is their map, and it's going to be really hard for them to lose farther into the season if they keep playing at that level.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to take a quick break, Saints Nation, but we'll be back with Map 2, Search and Destroy, coming up next. Saints Nation, map number 2, Vault, Search and Destroy. University of Buffalo versus St. Clair College. A beautiful first map from St. Clair, but the tide changes and there's no respawn game mode.
Yeah, look at this play from Buffalo here. They're doing what the Saints like to do. Running for that A site, so aggressive, does not matter though. CoD looking to finish it off, and they are going to defuse right off the start here. What was the University of Buffalo taking a play out of the Saints playbook, trying this aggressive A push, but the Saints were ready for it and were having none of it.
Yeah, quick work there of that Buffalo, attack. They, allowed them to get the bomb down, but they won their gunfights early. Taking a 1-0 lead, that's important. Like we said on Search and Destroy, you want that momentum. You need to hold that iron fist. You need that iron fist, that grip onto your Search and Destroy maps. Beautiful stuff there from the Saints, KB and Rupert. The first couple of frags out here as now the Saints head on to attack. Leaning a bit towards the middle of the map now, potentially going for an A hit, but Buffalo is ready for it. Rupert underneath almost the entirety of the Buffalo team, but they're going to wrap around. A beautiful wrap play into the B site as CoD looks to get the bomb down. No action here on either side as Brandon is able to find one, but couldn't finish him off. Information, though, on the side of the Saints as Buffalo looks to creep out onto the site. Dan Spider onto CoD. The site is a little bit open. The Saints have to be a little bit worried as KB refrags onto Spider. Clicks onto Rupert. It's a 2v3 now for the Saints in a post-plant situation. Buffalo has to encroach onto the site, and they've got to do it quick. Clicks aware of KB's position in the building, but Brandon at range tries to find something, gets a headshot onto Swarm. KB being surrounded, and a beautiful pistol shot from Brandon onto the bomb. 5 seconds left. There is no time for Xenium to get anything. Brandon, the MVP of this round, a beautiful 2-0 lead for the Saints.
Brandon, are you kidding me right now? An absolute prayer of a pistol shot finds home here. Unfortunately, not the final kill, as the bomb is going to take the credit for that, but oh my goodness, the man really can't do it all. I bet if you're the coach of the team and you start playing, I think you get a little bit of extra powers to get a little bit more sauce going, because that was just crazy.
A snipe show with the pistol from long range to secure the second round. The Saints back on to defense. Buffalo looks to try and make something happen here.
Just like a Battlefield, we saw the little tripod on the pistol, little sniper scope on the pistol. That's exactly what that reminded me of. Excellent work, Brandon.
Buffalo, again, a quick plant onto the A site, but CoD makes it a 4v3 now for St. Clair. They have the awareness that the bomb is on A, but they are unaware of the two players sitting on the site, KB and CoD, fragging. CoD just going for the information play right there. I like that play, sacrificing your life to able to, find that last player's position as the Saints, again, a beautiful 3-0 lead. Nice stuff, good teamwork, and sacrifices from St. Clair College.
Some mistakes from Buffalo there as well. Like you said, Saints were able to rush 2 on that site to get that final kill, but wasn't sure what Clicks was doing. He was almost just sliding into KB's bullets there. Just a free pick for KB. And yeah, like we're kind of seeing in the Hardpoint match, just very little resistance from Buffalo, and Saints are just running all over them right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, Buffalo they were able to get the bomb down twice, but again, they're just not able to win these gunfights early on. And going down a man advantage, with so much time left in that bomb, defusal phase, it gave the Saints just a perfect opportunity as they're the ones rushing down now into the A site. CoD, unaware of the player's position right above them, might get found out. Clicks onto Rupert for the first blood of this round. Saints trying to get that one back. CoD on the tail, unable to find him. KB onto one, though. Clicks another onto Brandon near that pool position. It's a 3v2 for Buffalo now. CoD trying to find anything. He's going round and round, able to find one near the pool onto Dan Spider. KB and CoD have to work together here to make it happen, and CoD is going to give the Saints a way into this round. Clicks tries to find one, unable to get the other, and beautiful work from the Saints. to come back from that man disadvantage.
Just when you think the Saints are down, they find a way to bring it back. CoD just with incredible map knowledge and rotation work here. Oh, just barely winning this 1v1, using the rubble, the wall, to block some of those bullets coming into him. Excellent work here. Great reps by CoD and those other SMG players, as that was what made the difference there, especially when Buffalo was playing the bomb and waiting for the Saints to get it, and they were able to totally run around that strategy. And now Saints very comfortable 4-0 lead as we get into round 5.
Comfortable but not guaranteed, as Dan Spider tries to take one early. Rooper, a nice frag to open it up. Once again, the Saints with a man advantage. Clicks getting into a fight near the pool. CoD, aware of his position though, sneaks up onto Clicks, and Rooper on this ace site, able to find Xenium. TBE Swarm, can he make some magic happen right here? Is aware of one, grabs Rooper, but the Saints are gonna flood onto his position and take a 5-0 lead here on Vault.
Yeah, we need to see this last kill again here. Watch this from CoD. Just that's just showing you just how great the comms are. Rushing 2, Swarms is gonna get his teammate, but CoD again is right there for the refrags. That has been the story of why it's been so good. That's twice now that we've seen a member of the Saints die early but get enough damage on the U Buffalo player that their teammate is easily able to come in, get that refrag, and every member of the Saints contributing as they look to end this one very soon.
Yeah, really quick stuff here from KB onto Xenium, able to find that first blood. Once again, a 4v3 for St. Clair College. Trying to take this 6-0 as they head out onto this B site. Clicks though, able to take down KB with a nice headshot. Brandon again on this lurk position. TBE Swarm unaware of his position, although he punished them from that a few rounds ago. Dan Spider now has a chance to defuse the bomb, but Brandon again in that sniper's nest position onto that B site, finds one, and it's all up to Clicks here. Brandon and Rooper need to aggressive. Beautiful shot there from Clicks onto Brandon, and now Rooper can end this one early, and he does. A beautiful slide, the perfect time to re-aggress, and the Saints take a 6-0 win on Vault S&D.
Oh, it almost looked like they were going to drop that one here, but Rooper able to win the 1v1. Let's run this one back here. Clicks just sliding into it. Rooper just had to let it come to him. Easiest kill I think Rooper's had in this one, but big shout out to Brandon in that sniper position. We had talked about Vault, whenever we talk about it, how it's an interesting map in that there's a lot of close quarters play and then a lot of long sites as well. That's kind of the staple of Call of Duty, right? These like 3-lane maps, right? What Brandon was able to do there, Buffalo almost had no answer for. In this sniper position, nobody was able to keep track of him, and he's in a spot where at that range, it creates almost like a little head glitch where Brandon is such a very, very small target to hit, but he has such a wide range to look onto those players, and Buffalo just had no answer for that.
It's kind of interesting, really. Brandon was able to punch them from that position, but I'm curious why Buffalo wasn't able to calm that and to think back to that round just a few rounds ago, and weren't able to clear that back of spawn and up in that kind of high ground position. It seems like something that is kind of called early and taken out of the play pretty early. But Buffalo, they tried to brute force it. It didn't work very well.
No, and you would think, like you said, that they would be able to calm that out, but with how aggressive the other Saints players are being, Buffalo really didn't have the chance to, because they had to deal with these other aggressing SMG players that were going to be in their face in 30 seconds. It's either deal with that or deal with the guy who's outside who might not be doing anything. So I think it's just an unfortunate situation for Buffalo, but for the Saints, I think they played perfectly into their hands, and another easy win for them. The streak continues. They have yet to drop a map in this series. We're going to see after another break if that streak will continue as the Saints look to finish this series off against Buffalo.
Welcome back, Saints Nation. You are seeing it correctly. We are back on Vault, but this time for Control. A different game mode, a little bit different flow. Rooper opens it up early with a kill onto Xenium, and CoD follows it up. So the Saints look to take control of this series and end it early. No pun intended right there, as Xenium tries to get one onto KB, unable to find it, gets up close. KB going for the knife, he's able to find it. Xenium has to be a little bit angry after that one. Clicks, finds it onto KB. Brandon aware of his position, tries to get the refrag, he does, onto Clicks. The Saints, although they have been fragging, down early 2 lives, but they are looking to take control of one of these points. 1 minute left on the clock. Clicks, unable to find CoD, and Dan Spider refrags onto Brandon. Rooper right at the door. I don't think Buffalo was ready for that one. KB onto Xenium. Rooper is still hugging this doorway, just absolutely dominating up close. Clicks really wants CoD, but CoD is not going to have any of it. He is in a power position up top here, farming University of Buffalo players. The Saints taking this B site almost entirely. They're able to find it and add an extra minute onto the timer.
Yeah, CoD absolutely is doing damage in that power position. That is such a good spot to hold in a mode like this because the U Buffalo spawn is right there. Having a St. Clair player in a building like that who's able to sort of take cover. Brandon with the wallbang finishing off a swarm there. This one's been very close, but again, the Saints know exactly where they want to attack from. This A site, very tough as there's that elevation and the hole in the floor. So lots of ways that attacking teams can get into the site here, as Buffalo trying to clear the point, but still down a lot of lives.
Yeah, it was an early live advantage for Buffalo, but honestly so early on that you couldn't really tell that the Saints were bloodthirsty, as now Buffalo into the single digits. Saints able to take a tick onto that A site. CoD, a beautiful shot onto Swarm. Xenium back onto CoD. They, trade some frags here. Buffalo on their back foot in this first round for sure. KB up close onto Clicks, unable to find him. Xenium tries to get one, but it's just Saints all over the kill feed. Rooper with 2, CoD with 1, and Brandon with 1 as well. University of Buffalo, no respawns left, as CoD takes down 1, 3 lives left for University of Buffalo, but the Saints are just capping this point. KB able to find one, and the Saints will win based off of capturing, although they probably would have won, pretty soon after if they couldn't find that zone.
No, it would have been over very quick, and this is what we were talking about. CoD in this standalone building here, just able to switch so quickly and using his audio in his headset to hear that guy trying to come up the stairs, but he is ready right away with his secondary assault rifle there. Excellent work from the Saints as they continue this dominant streak. What does Buffalo need to do if they want to hope to respond?
Man, if I'm Buffalo right now, you feel like really deflated. That's the word. It's deflated. You came into this with maybe a little bit of confidence. CoD backstabs Rooper to start us off. Brandon, a beautiful cross-map nade onto Xenium to readjust these lives. 27-27 now. Buffalo, they need to find something early here. Like I said, they must feel deflated after these first 2 maps. Rooper, though, not having any of it. The Saints filling up this kill feed early, and Buffalo really has no response.
I almost thought that the Saints were trying to give Buffalo a mulligan there with that team kill, but it didn't matter, as clearly they were playing 5D chess with that grenade play to just reaffirm their lead here, as again, this hyper-aggressive nature of the Saints play, Buffalo has zero answer for, as CoD again getting into the back line with no resistance at all.
It's beautiful work here from CoD and Rooper. Just absolute dominance early on from the Saints as they take a 23-15 live lead, and Buffalo has not even encroached on any of these zones. Rooper, nice frag onto Xenium. Can he find a second? In a little bit of a position battle, but unable to find it onto Swarm, but KB is able to back him up. The Saints up 22-11. KB, a beautiful multi-kill right there. The Saints playing with time in their favor now. Buffalo into the single digits on lives. KB, beautiful shot onto Clicks. Brandon, nice headshot onto Swarm. Xenium back onto KB, but Buffalo has no answer here on attack. 12 seconds now. They are not able to find anything as the Saints are just all over their spawn point.
Yeah, you had mentioned how the Saints could be playing with time here, but they don't even want to. They just want to get this done as soon as they can, as no respawns again for you, Buffalo. More green in that kill feed, and that is going to do it again. St. Clair, just dominant performance as Buffalo is now on their last possible round match point potentially, as again CoD, we've been calling his name a lot. Look at this, no resistance in the spawn, able to get swarms from long range, using that car to defend against clicks. Just, what can you say? The man is doing it all right now. Absolutely dominant. CoD 8-6, leading the way in frags. Rupert tied with him. KB7, Brandon a very humble 1.0 KD, but doing the Lord's work with those long-range angles.
Hey, Brandon's the unsung hero of this one, stepping in for CWADs, able to, keep the Saints afloat against the University of Buffalo here. Back on the attack, the Saints go. KB once again opening up the kill feed with the first blood. CoD, a beautiful double now. Early live advantage as the Saints are just all over that B site. One tick down, CoD, a beautiful shot onto Tan Spider. Clicks back onto CoD as Buffalo tries to take a little bit of ground here onto this B site to deny the Saints attack. But it's not looking too great as KB, Rupert, just all over this site. They're just unrelenting, just filling up the feed all over again. And this B site is just one tick away now from being captured, and time extended. Rupert onto Xenium and clicks back onto Rupert, but KB, a 5 spree early in this third round.
Yeah, you can tell that the Saints want to get this over with quick. They love vaults, they play it all the time, they know where all the spawn points are. You really only need just one guy to capture the point, right? And that's their strat. Get one guy to capture the point, everybody else, we're just going to send hard rush into all their spawns and not even let them sniff that point. And that's what the Saints been doing so well here. Brandon showing off his Dark Matter camo. Skins do, in fact, increase performance as the Saints still, again, Brandon just missed it. I was just talking about how good that Dark Matter skin makes you, but couldn't get it done in that instance there.
Couldn't get it done there, but the Saints more than likely going to get it done here as they look to aggress onto this A site. 139 left. Buffalo, 10 lives left. The Saints up with 17. A beautiful shot there from Clicks, though. Double kill. Could that give Buffalo a way back into this round? Nice multi-kill. But all they have to do now is hold for another minute 30. It's almost an impossible task as KB gets one onto Dan Spider. Single-digit lives once again for Buffalo. This series could be over soon with 1 minute left on the clock.
Yeah, Clicks for Buffalo has been quietly pulling his weight here. He does go down in the kill feed. Rupert with an easy triple there onto the point, but Clicks has been my MVP for Buffalo and TBE Swarm. They've been doing very well. Clicks has been deadly with that pistol as well. You almost want to think that Buffalo has a bit of a chip on their shoulder after that one pistol kill as CoD again and Rupert clean it up, as we're not even going to finish that point because the Saints have already won just like that. Nice, quick, and clean. The streak continues.
The streak continues. The Saints are going to be happy with this 3-0 on the University of Buffalo. Really no resistance right there. You thought maybe, a little bit there on Search and Destroy. They had a few rounds where they were at a man disadvantage. Their control looked really solid right there. Of course, their hard point is always something to look out for. CoD and Rupert topping the scoreboard once again. Great stuff from the Saints again. They're able to, take care of business. Now they've got their second match against Akron tonight. I'm sure they're, they're ready for it. They're warm now for sure. After those 3 matches, it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, we hate to sound like a broken record, but again, how dialed in are they right now? Like, they just look like they're firing on all cylinders and nothing is going to stand in their way. An easy win against you, Buffalo, where we thought they might struggle a little bit, and they did on Hardpoint. That was the closest, really, that any team has given them on Hardpoint. So if anything, that might be something to look back on and maybe try and get a little better, just play a little bit tighter on Hardpoint, because you know that the University of Akron isn't going to give you as much leeway as a team like Buffalo would.
Yeah, for sure. I thought, Brandon really held his own right there. Of course, we know Brandon's a talented COD player in his own right, but to be able to step in when, you know, he might not have thought he would be here in this position tonight, he did a great job. You know, he was able to, you know, have some great frags, 18 on hard point, able to, you know, keep the pace throughout S&D in control, and overall just you know, keeping the Saints afloat, letting them breathe as they take this match against Buffalo 3-0.
No, exactly. And again, it's just that next man up mentality, right? When you have somebody who, you know, isn't able to fill in, that shows the sign of a really good, well-run team. When you have somebody who's able to just step in and it's like nobody was even gone, right? So great job by Brandon to step in there. Hoping you can get the boys ready, Brandon, because you got a big challenge coming up next. Saints Gaming versus the University of Akron. That is coming up soon, but we are going to be taking another break here on CollegeCoD on Saints Gaming Twitch.